Please
Please
work.
work.
Please
I
work.
think this is working.
Is
I
it
think
working?
this is working.
We think it's working.
Can everybody hear us? Do you hear
Yo, what's up?
nice
Hold on.
tunes?
I'm watching you on my phone. Oh wait, shoot! I paused. I paused you. Oh no, yeah, there we are.
Ah, it's working. I
It's
am the
working.
hearer.
Hooray!
Do we sound
Oh wow,
good between us? I had to turn Miles down. Can you believe that? For the
that's
first time ever.
crazy.
You can't hear the
That's
music?
crazy.
Miles is a little
Oh my
quiet. See?
god.
Here, let me turn me down. And then I'll
Beep,
turn
boop, boop, boop,
us
boop,
up.
boop, boop, boop. Check. Yeah.
Okay. Let's try that. Do a little bit of this. Alright. Now you can barely hear us both. I've made it worse.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Okay, what about now? Thoughts on now?
What about now?
Audio
That's a
do be
great
kind of
question.
fucky. That's what I don't want.
Oh, I have baby Twitch on my phone apparently because I just got audio doobie kind of and then a bunch of asterisks.
How now?
Asterisk.
Sounds dope.
Sounds dope.
Someone says I've got audio all the way up and it's pretty quiet. I can fix that. Well, we're gonna be loud. Is the problem?
Yeah, man, that's true. That's so true.
You know.
That's so true. Good afternoon, Stub.
Can you believe I'm like technically professional at this, and I don't know what I'm doing?
I believe it.
All of my
Aw.
sound great. Okay, max on Twitch and still sound a little quiet. Okay, here I'll pop us up. Miles, just don't yell.
Up and damn. No promises.
I know. When can you ask questions? Just start asking them. So
Just start asking them.
We're look. Hey, okay. Is it good? I think it's good enough. Maybe. Oh wait, I'm hearing maybe not. Okay. I'm like, guys, I'm cranked, and I don't mean that in like a weird way. I mean that just in like.
It sounded really weird.
It did. I take that back. Oh wait, I know I'm doing wrong. This is gonna fix it. This is gonna fix it.
He's gonna fix it.
Yeah, I think this is gonna fix it.
My head's gonna explode from the audio.
It's you know what it's now it's gonna be too loud.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be too loud.
Okay, I got a dog on screen, so like
Dog.
that's doing something for someone.
Dog.
Tater Chippy having a good time on the stream.
RWBY, thanks for the resub. I appreciate it.
Hey, people
Okay,
saying
I'm hearing now it's much better. Hello everybody, and welcome to our Q&A. We're doing this for multiple reasons. One, because it's fun and we love hanging out with y'all. And two, we're in the middle of a Streamly thing. So if you want to, Kerry definitely remembers the link off the top of his head. He's not Googling at all. Miles remembers. And the link for all of the RWBY people is...
I'm assuming it's streamly.com/RWBY, RWBY. Hey, you know what? Hey, hold on. Wait. I got this.
It is.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Oh, no, did you want to do it? You want to do it?
If you go to streamly.com/RWBY, you can find a place to get signatures from all of us. We'll sign them for you. It'll be great. You can also go to individually streamly.com/MilesLuna or /Kerry Shawcross and it's all goes to the same kind of page. But if you go to the RWBY one, you can see everybody.
Yeah.
So we're here for an hour.
Date.
This is going to be a fun little Q&A. Maybe, it'll be more of like a podcast. It's going to be chill.
Yeah, no, this is the last, I don't know, shout out in chat if you were there for the RWBY cast Q&A that happened a couple weeks back. It was super fun. It was nice seeing everybody's happy faces. There were some really fun questions in that. And that was really professionally moderated by Lindsay Jones and had some really nice graphics and a whole tech team. This ain't that.
No.
This is not that.
This is far from that.
Past 5 minutes of technical issues weren't a clue. This isn't that. This is Miles and Kerry haven't gotten to hang out in way too long. And this has given us a great excuse to do it for about an hour. Speaking of, what should we just do a quick? How are you today, Kerry? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
I'm good. I was actually I think our first question, if I can find it real quick,
Oh.
was and this is all going to tie into it, is Boris the Animal 2000. What time is it where you are?
Right
Great
now,
question.
it is
Multiple answers. Miles, take it away.
multiple answers.
Miles,
For
take
me
it away.
right now, I am in London, England.
Mm-hmm.
In it, you what, mate? And it is 7:13 in the evening. But it is also, it's summer-ish time. It's summertime here now, which means that it doesn't get dark until very, very late. So I'm just chilling. It's great. What about, where are you at?
Very late for London, England. That's like 4 p.m.
So in the winter, it does get dark at like 4 p.m.
Yeah.
But in the summer, it doesn't get dark till like 10:30.
And you mentioned London,
so yeah.
England. Do you want to mention cross streets?
Yeah, I'm thinking full on postal code, my
near
daily routes. I think
station.
I'm just gonna lay all that out. Yeah, near station. No, it's
I'm
7
in
in the evening.
sunny Austin, Texas. It is 1:13 p.m. Saturday, June 7th. I've had a great day. I woke up, kind of lazy day to be honest so far. I played some Mario Kart on my Switch 2. Humble brag. This is great for Grimsling Dolt. Good afternoon / evening. How are you doing? Great job knowing that it was both. And I'm great. Miles, how are you doing? You described your.
I'm good, man.
But like, where are you? And like, what are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. We took my dog for a big walk. He's a sleepy boy. I do have socks on. I have my Bomba socks on. You're not getting that for free. Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hey, do you think if I sent Streamily a picture of my feet, they'd allow me to sell those prints? And it's like, here's a really nice artist rendition of Felix from Red vs. Blue. Here's this great piece of Jean and Pierre from RWBY, and then they're Miles' dogs. Which would you like me to sign?
There's only one way to find out. I mean, I might. Here's a question: are you gonna, when you live sign it, are you gonna live sign it with a Sharpie in your toes?
No.
That would be pretty amazing.
My God!
I'm scrolled very high up in chat. I'm trying to grab some questions.
Hey, so I found. Yeah, let's contractually answer one RWBY related question. And I got one. I got one. Oh, hey, also, sorry, quick, one more interjection. Yeah. I do need to explain why it looks like I'm like calling to you from my bedroom here this evening.
You don't have to explain anything to me. I'm good.
My wife and I are currently in the middle of renovating our place and don't have. Not all the rooms are what I would consider rooms right now. Right. And this is one of the least defensive rooms. So that's why I'm coming to you live from the sheets.
The proper vernacular is flat, correct?
It is. I do live in a flat, yes.
Now I do notice that it's more than like 1 inch tall. So
keen eyes.
How is it a flat?
Well, it goes back to ancient times.
Really?
Kerry. Millions of years ago, when this question was asked in the chat.
From?
Oh, who knows? Dude, I forgot who asked the question, but you'll know. First off, yeah, shout out to Stub who watches RWBY with their son. That's wonderful. I can't find it anymore, but you know who asked this. It was a great question. Question for us: was there a RWBY fan theory that you loved that was wrong? It was not true. It was not canon meant to be, but it was a theory where you were like, "Dang, that's a cool theory. That's really fun." I'm trying to think because I know there have been some.
I feel like there definitely have been some, but I'm trying to think of like what. I feel like for me, it's been less like fan theories and more like seeing cool, like, like AU stuff or like
yeah,
make Grim or like weapons. I'm trying to think of like an actual like fan theory.
Oh, man, I had one and I lost it. I do. There have been times.
So we haven't answered a question yet. Is what we asked a question and we actually don't know an answer to it.
I did. There's been like a handful of times where like there's a theory popped up where like I would read that and I go, "Oh, that's a really cool idea. I kind of wish we did that. It's really sick."
I mean, look, it happens. It happens with everything,
Oh, I had a fun cameo recently that that this person had this theory in volume 7 when Neo steals the relic of knowledge from Oscar Pine, and all happens off screen. And this theory was like, hey, Neo was at the Schnee Manor where Oscar and RWBY kind of had like that cutesy, awkward interaction with one another. Did Neo like snipe that and disguise herself as RWBY and get flirty with Oscar? And I was like, look, you know, excuse me, when it comes to like RWBY canon stuff, I'm always clear to say like I do not speak for all the writers on this show. This is my headcanon. But I did a
stream the other week, I was like, it's not canon unless it happens like
if
it's in a Q&A, let's not take it as canon quite yet.
I love that theory though, because the thing that I said was like Neo was a really fun character to use because she was one of the more mischievous, mysterious, and capable characters, especially on the villain side.
Sure.
To where there were things, she had that it factor from like the moment she hit the screen, where like anyone would be like, oh, how did she do that? She's Neo, man. I don't know, she got it done. And that was like because RWBY was a show, or is a show, or because we had like intense time constraints with the show from like the first episode, but we had the ambition of being like a full 22-minute anime. We were always up against the wall, like, oh my gosh, like where can we shave off time? What can we do in a way that like kills two birds with one stone? Obviously, there were some areas where we did it better than others, but with Neo, it was nice where we could be like, we don't need to show exactly how she got it. We can show her starting point, we can show her ending point, and then with Neo, it's almost more fun to just leave it up to the imagination of the viewer of like, how did she pull that off? Because we know that she did it in a way that was really sick. All that is a long-winded way of saying I thought that was just a super fun, not necessarily a theory, but an example of like sometimes you don't show something to the audience and let them come up with their own story because their own story is going to be way better, or have like a nice little specific detail that like they came up with that they think is really cool. I love that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think storytelling is this very interesting kind of open thing that I kind of wish people would leave some things open more. You saying the Neo thing reminded me, this isn't one that I actually necessarily thought like we should have done or anything, but do you remember when in volume 3 Pyrrha gets in the elevator to go up and talk to Ozpin?
Yes,
because she's gonna
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Stuff. And the expression we had on her face was just like, I think it was like a little bit of like a smirk, and she was just like, oh, okay, you know, and everybody was like, that's Neo.
Yeah, they're like, she looks too mischievous. Like, that's Neo. Pyrrha would never smirk.
And it was
smiles.
Just like, no, it's just, yeah.
Oh my God. The little things that like, there are things that you think as a person that works on a show, or just like any storyteller. Hell, this happens when you are like a DM in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, where you will spend all this time being like, this is definitely going to be the thing that is interesting and that people are going to latch onto. And then there's always something where the audience or your players or whoever is like, what about that thing that you spent absolutely no time thinking about? We're obsessed with that. And you're like, oh my God, jeez. It was the pilot in who flew Weiss around in volume 4,
well, he does deserve
5.
He does deserve more.
Pilot Boy. There was the first mate on Blake and Son's ship.
Yep.
Well, Forrest was always going to be like we had him planned from the beginning. He was always going to be an S-tier character.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Oh man, the chat's going crazy. Thank you all. Hello. This one I thought was called Boris the Animal 2000. What other animated series would you like to see a crossover with RWBY with?
Oh, dude.
There's so many good ones.
There's so many.
I mean, obviously, right? I think we're all thinking it. The main one is the Boondocks, right?
Yeah, obviously.
I'm trying to think like a really yeah.
King of the Hill.
I'll tell you what, Ruby Rose, if you put a little WD-40 on Crescent Rose there, I think you're going to find you're going to get a lot cleaner of a slice on them Beowulf.
Is it crazy that that Hank Hill and Ruby would actually probably get along pretty well.
They get
because
along great over tools and things.
Yeah. Ruby's like, how can
Hold
I
on.
incorporate propane? Yeah, can you write this down?
No, hold
Can you
on,
write this
hold on.
down?
I need to open my notes pad. I need to open my notes pad for something. Okay,
Yeah, no
notes
reason.
pad. Here we go. For no reason. Let me just type out. Oh, okay. Hank Hill. Nope, not Hank Hill. Hank Hill. Dale Ribble.
Okay, yeah.
Boomhauer. Shoot, what's Boomhauer's last name? I'm gonna just make it first
I
name
always
Boom,
thought
last
he was
name
kind of
Hauer.
like Cher. He didn't have one.
Yeah. And Bill Dotrieve. What is their
Oh, what is their team
what's
name?
the Alley Boys team name? HG because Hank's the leader.
Obviously.
And I think Hank and Dale would have that Ruby Weiss tension where Dale thinks he deserves to be leader and they're gonna fight over it a bit.
Right. Oh shit, real quick. Hayden established 1999. Thank you for the 5 subs. That's super nice of you. Thank you.
That's super nice. I'm gonna just let that sit. I'm gonna let that
Yeah,
sit in
hey,
the
can we
background.
get best opinions in chat? What would their team name be? Let's do a serious question.
Okay. All right.
Merapi 895, awesome person, asked
Oh,
a
what's up,
question
Marathi?
I always wanted to ask you both. You're both lead writers for the show and have played a character in the show. What's it like to write about a character you play yourself, and what's some of the hard parts about it? And for Miles specifically, as voice of Jean, one of the main characters, he's been through so much growth and trauma. How does this reflect on your writing and acting? Were there times it felt hard knowing that what was to come, or did knowing you play Jean influence his writing for what he has to do? That's a good question.
That's a really insightful question.
Yeah.
The easy part about writing for a character you voice is that you can have confidence that you can get the exact performance that you hear in your head. Like whenever I write for characters, I always hear their voices and I hear them the way that I'm assuming. I think every writer does. It's like, you hear the voice in your head. And then, of course, when you get into a collaborative setting, you start working with VAs. They're going to bring something different. They're going to bring something that you may not have thought of that could shed a whole new light on a character.
And that's the beauty. That's what you want.
It's great. It's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
get excited when there's a read that I was like, oh, I didn't actually think about that. That's like so much better than what I had in my head.
Yeah. And so there is that, like, when you're working in something collaborative like that, there's that excitement of like, is it going to be something I didn't expect? And like, I'm going to be blown away. Is it going to be something I didn't expect? Like, oh, maybe we are not going to be able to get quite the read we wanted, because that's like a reality as well. There's just a lot more unknown when you're writing for a character that you voice, for better or worse. You're like, I can write this line and I know exactly how I want to hit it.
I do remember us having to go back a lot, and there was revisions where it was like Jean was talking about how handsome he was and how he could do like a lot of push-ups and stuff, and I was like, hey, Miles, I don't know if Jean would say this.
I thought he would, I really thought he'd be putting up, those.
It was something we had to work through together. Like that was the first time he struck me. I mean, Neptune, I feel like doesn't even count. I mean, it's as a person who does a lot less acting, Neptune is almost in this weird way of like, can I actually say this the way I want to? But I feel like it works out. It's also a lot easier for us or not easier, I should say, but it's we also know that we can ad-lib in the booth because we're the ones usually directing it. So it's like, if we can't say it exactly. Ranger or Junior, you must choose. Hey,
I was just looking at
1999. I mean, to me, it's always got to be Ranger.
It's got to be Ranger.
I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what that makes me think
and
of?
Junior's a character. But yeah.
What that makes me think of is I think there was discussions about like, hey, what's Team Juniper now that like Oster is in it? And I think people like it's Team Orange or something like that. Does that sound right? It's been so long. But that thing always drove me crazy because of my brain, and like it can still be Team Juniper.
Yeah,
'cause
just the
Oscar's
pine.
last name is Pine.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel insane.
Yeah.
But maybe that's coming from a place of give respect for the OG Team Juniper. Maybe that's
Sure.
the direction
Right.
where people are coming from with that.
Yeah, I could see that. Now let's go to just a series of a question. JS842664. I hope that's not like your zip code. What types of moms would Team RWBY be later in life if they wanted to be? I think that's a very sweet question.
I think the easiest one is Yang, because Yang is already, she's played such a motherly role
Right.
to RWBY, and like I think I don't think Yang would actually change them that much. I think she'd come at it with the same sort of energy that she does, for better or worse, with how she helps care for RWBY when they were a lot younger.
Yeah, I feel like Yang is like bringing orange slices to soccer practice, but also if the kid doesn't want to go soccer practice, they're like, too bad, you're going to soccer practice. Hey,
Meanwhile,
does Remnant have soccer?
They call it football there.
This is a question from at Kerry Shawcross. Does Remnant have soccer?
They have blitzball.
I do. I pulled that card yesterday for Magic the Gathering. I have a blitzball card now.
Dude, that would get you.
Dude, okay. Hey, anyways, so we'll just talk about that now. I'm just kidding.
No, hold on. Weiss.
Yeah.
Weiss. I think Weiss is gonna go full on gentle parenting. I think it's after
opposite.
Experiencing, yes, huge pendulum swing from Weiss. But I think like there's a 1 in 100 chance where she like snaps and she's like, because I said so.
Sure. Yeah.
You
and I definitely think there's
Mom didn't mean that.
I definitely think there's moments of like like, oh, do you want to do piano lessons? And the kid would be like, no, and Weiss would be like, okay, that's fine, and she'd go into the other room and be like, but it's okay, once kid do it, I think yeah. Do you now this is a little serious. Could you see maybe at first Yang being a little helicoptery because of how Raven was, right? Like,
I could see that actually. I
think she would recognize it, right? But I could see that happening early on, of being a little like, I have to be there all of the time.
Yeah.
Right. Part of the question: did they go to therapy before they had these kids or not?
That's a great question. That's an important aspect of it. RWBY. Man.
RWBY's the PTA mom who forgets when the meetings are.
Oh, who said that? That's really good.
Skeleton.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's 100% accurate.
100%.
I think RWBY is the mom that's like, she's really trying to downplay that, like, yeah, like I was a huntress, like I fought Grim and stuff, and like did some stuff. Like, you don't want to hear about that. Like, let's talk about you. Like, I think RWBY would be very much like, because RWBY was like, she got into Beacon early. RWBY's like, so much attention has been on her, and like as a mom, she's like, nope, I don't want any more attention on me. It's all about my child. And then someone would be like, dude, your mom's so cool, and her kid would be like, nah. She's actually like really dorky, like when you get to know her. And RWBY would be like, that's
talk
true.
about
I'm
it.
dorky. I'm lame. Nobody talk about me. Talk about my sick kid. They're so cool.
Obviously baking all the time. Maybe not great at it.
Blake.
Yeah, Blake's interesting.
Blake is interesting. Blake is I'm trying to think. It's not gentle parenting, but where it's like,
just kind of like very
when Blake's kid is going through that phase where they're saying no to everything. Blake's like, yes, voice your thoughts, feel your feelings.
Yeah.
Like, your feelings are valid. Yes,
I feel like Blake would be very big on not treating them as a kid, but just treating them like a person.
Yeah, I love
even
that.
From like a very
I
early
love
age.
that.
You know?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. That's a great question. This is just another way I can roast you real quick, Miles. Poorly drawn
Hit me.
shoe. Miles, what's your favorite food in England? My question, does it include the word mushy? And is it brown?
Look, I will say this. Just
Yeah.
yesterday, I did have the best fish and chips with mushy peas that I have had.
I mean, the fish and
and
chips part's great.
I've had shit fish and chips. Bad. Sorry, we don't swear on the RWBY streams.
You know.
I've had plenty of bad fish and chips, but
Yeah.
these fish and chips, there were more things in the mushy peas than peas. There was also seasoning, and that was great.
Oh, really? Did they just get that?
I know. They just got it over here. Which is
I
crazy
want to
because
be very
it's
clear.
funny,
I am
it's
half British, so I'm allowed to say these jokes.
He's allowed to do this.
Okay, genuine question though. What is your American food that you miss the most?
Oh my god, it's Tex-Mex. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Kerry, it's like cheese enchiladas with a meat gravy, refried beans, Mexican rice,
Yeah.
and like fluffy tortillas. I just made before this. I made white people tacos with like some crumbled
White people taco
like
night.
oh night.
Did you get
crumbled
the
up
hard shells
plant-
that are flat
plant
at the
meat.
bottom so they sit up straight?
Nah, dog, I'm making my own tortillas now.
Nice.
And I finally got the recipe right. I've been trying a bunch of different ones. That's been my in with the neighbors is I've been making them tortillas to be like,
Nice.
hi, I'm a loud American. Please accept me into your land. And
Have they reciprocated at all, or is that more?
they have. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying stay right here. You're not going anywhere.
I
I'll be right
might.
back.
Don't tell me what to do. Now I want to leave. Hey, now it's just us. How's it going? I hope you're all enjoying this. Very unofficial. This is just what it's like when we talk and hang out. So you're kind of, we're peeling back that curtain a little bit. We're all hanging out. I hope
Kerry,
everything's great.
Plug the websites.
Yeah, you can go to streamly.com/RWBY, streamly.com/Kerry Shawcross, streamly.com/Miles Luna. Prints from us, we'll sign them. It'll be great. It'll be an awesome time. If you don't see something you like, let us know what you would like to see on there, and we'll work on getting it up. Miles,
Also,
back to you.
Also, we can sign our prints in our stores and send them to you, or we can also do things where we'll do our own live streams and we can sign them live on the streams.
Yes.
And hang out with chat. Okay.
You can do
Hey,
video
so I gave
messages. We'll say hi.
video messages.
What hey, I'm look. I'm being real. I've never done one. I've never done a cameo. I've never done a video message. I would. I'm just saying.
He would.
And with that, I will stop answering questions now and make you pay for them. That's not true. What were you have, Miles?
So I gave my neighbors some tortillas, and then they were gone for a week, and then they came back. And I need you to know that this was full when they gave it to me. They didn't give it to me like this.
Okay.
And they said, "Hey, thank you so much for those tortillas you gave us when we moved in. We wanted to get you a little something too." Now, what do you think this is?
No, I'm not gonna say anything. I just want a moment. I need a moment. So this was full. And when was this given to you?
Full? This was given to me last weekend. Yeah.
Okay, so about 6 days, maybe a week.
Squirrel. Yeah.
Is that 1 liter?
I don't know. Probably, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know how they get like vanilla extract or something that's like in vanilla by expressing beaver anal glands?
I do. Yeah, no, I do.
I assume that that's what you've got going on there.
So this here is squirrel, okay? Oh shit! I just said a word that Chip knows. Nobody. There's not one here. It's okay.
What can wait? Okay, wait. Before you tell me what it is, can Chip have squirrel? This one.
I would not give this to Chip.
Okay. Is it like moonshine?
Ooh, it's getting kind of funky.
It's
Squirrel
getting
is-
funky.
It's beer.
Oh, okay.
My neighbors went to some week-long beer festival, and they brought me back what they called was a proper beer and insisted that I drink at room temperature. And it's funky, but tell you what, it's good. And it was a very, very kind gesture. And also, one of the funniest gifts I've ever gotten. I love it.
Oh, please, when you're done with that, wash that out and keep that container. Um, that is
Yeah, no,
100%
that's
something we would have
family
had at the
heirloom now.
office, just on one of our desks.
I
How you feel about room temp beer?
think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think here's what I think. I think food and drink, it's all gravy so long as it's not like actively killing you. Which, hey, you know what? Alcohol's kind of a little bit. So I guess
Yeah,
we do
we do have an initial problem.
What's up?
Just that it is actively killing you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is actively killing you. Yeah. As can you know what? Cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay. It's all good under the hood, man.
See,
If you want to have your steak well done, go for it. If you want your beer room temperature, fine. Don't force it on me.
Sure.
But I'm not gonna be here in yuckier yums, okay? Put ketchup on things that I wouldn't put ketchup on. I'm not eating it. Go for it.
My dad, anytime we go to a steak restaurant, or he orders a steak at a restaurant, he says a very funny thing. It's the most dad thing ever, and I hope he never stops. Which is, they'll say, "Do you want A1 sauce with that?" And he just looks at them and says, "I hope I don't." And I think
really
it's
good.
very
That's
funny.
such a dad.
It's such a dad. It's very funny. It's very good. Yeah, I am like, when I'm served the food, right, and it's like hot and it's what it's supposed to be, every second after that, it diminishes in value. So I try and eat and drink as quickly as possible.
I do that too.
Yeah, if I pick up a fry and it's like room temp, I might as well just not eat it. Let's answer another question. Hey, let's answer from Digital Gargoyle, who's actually Rick. Yeah,
Rick?
He worked on RWBY. Very, 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 very nice gentleman. Miss you, Rick. Kerry Miles. Hey guys, Rick from RWBY. Are there any characters considered one-off that you would like to write for again?
Oh my God, talk.
Yep.
1,000 times talk.
Yep.
It's either talk or SiennaCon. Those are like
both
type of
very much so. I think we could have done more with Forrest. I would have loved that.
We
Even
could
though
have
it's
done
a
more with
bit.
Forrest.
Even though it's a bit, I do love Forrest.
Talk is an interesting. So talk and SiennaCon are interesting for two reasons. SiennaCon, I do genuinely wish that we had done more with her.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of stuff with the White Fang storyline that like we could have done differently and better.
Oh.
But hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Learning moments.
Yeah.
But that was
I think. Wait, can I say to that real quick?
No, please.
Just to, like, I hope people understand this, and let me know. I think I'm speaking for you, but tell me if I'm not.
Please.
I feel so incredibly fortunate that we were given the opportunity to work on RWBY, and I feel like ourselves and many members of the team have had this amazing opportunity to grow with the show, and we've learned so much. And I think I always just want to tell when people when we get comments, it's like, I can't believe they did this. It's like, yeah, we didn't know. We learned. We would have done this a little bit differently now too. We're not sitting here saying this is the best thing ever, but we're very proud of it still, right? Right. But we're very proud of it because we think we did, you know, like, we figured it out. But no, I can't think of a single episode that I wouldn't have done something different on. Whether it's big or small. Every episode I would have done a little bit differently. But it also is this like kind of like time capsule, right? It is this like learning experience that we had and we got to share with people. So I don't know. I think that's what makes it special, but I don't know. I've want to say anyways. Speaking of stuff like
Thank you for that. No, I love that. I love that. I couldn't have said it better. Talk though is such an interesting one because going back to talking about how like RWBY was always a show that was like actively fighting against its runtime. We had this, Maria Calavera. We need to understand her backstory. We now learn that she's the Grim Reaper. Apparently, this is a big deal to the people of Remnant, but like the audience doesn't know who it is. Like, so how do we show her to be cool? And that was one of the most that was a really fun writing challenge. Of like, hey, we have one sequence where we can show off how cool this lady is. Like, okay, what are we gonna do? And we don't have the budget to do a really, really long fight sequence. It has to be short. Like, this is the worst case scenario. But it was those constraints that led to, okay, well, if the fight has to be short, then that needs to be the main gimmick of the fight, is that it is this crazy fight that is going to happen in like under 60 seconds. Right. And that led to like, okay, what if we had someone whose semblance was they're invincible for like 60 seconds, second hand, clocks, the crocodile from Peter Pan with the ticking clock inside, and then like. Then again, going back to like collaboration with people, then Art gets their hands on that idea, and it's like, oh my gosh, she should look like this, and like we can get like she can have this sort of like color palette to her, and man, like Talk was that the Grim Reaper Talk fight is one of the sequences in RWBY that I like. Everybody, I feel like we were just like, there's a lot of stuff that we wish we'd done differently. I think we really did a good job with that. Like the whole team really like showed up and made the Grim Reaper look as cool as she deserved to look.
I always like that is one of my go-to like more present era like RWBY sequences, and I'm just like, yeah, this is like I point to, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that was
so basically, this isn't necessarily a question, but I just want to address it. Grim Blacksmith, I'll be honest, the way you word things makes me worried you're not working on RWBY anymore. Like Viz did something. That can confirm nor deny nothing. We're talking about our past memories, because is what is available for us to talk about right now. There would obviously be some type of announcement if something wasn't happening. Viz has said that they want to work on Volume 10. I can't talk about stuff. Miles can't talk about stuff. The best thing I can say is if we were concerned or disappointed about something, we would be talking about it, and we're not. Mm-hmm. So,
bam! I got a question.
Yeah. Do you want me to play Switch 2? Is that what the question is?
Do you want to Switch 2? Carly asks, as a favor to a librarian, is it common to be able to read in Remnant? Like, could the Bronwyns read? Thanks, guys. I think that it is fairly common for people to be able to read in Remnant. But of course, much like our world, I think it really depends on like socioeconomic stuff and like where are you? Like I am sure there are people who are like living outside of the main capitals who their whole thing is like I actually think the Bronwyns, I think there's a good chance that not everybody in their tribe can read.
Sure.
But I think that for most of them, I do think most people in Remnant understand the value of being able to read and how like it is worth learning to do. Especially if you are outside of those capitals and like so much of your stuff is like, hey man, we got to be able to survive out here, reading maps, reading signs to like nearby places. Like, yeah, I think that is the thing that most people try to do.
And then, I mean, I would say it's pretty comparable to present day here. And then, and then the ones that maybe can't, I mean, I still think that, there are ways of storytelling or spreading information that are not reading and writing, but also Grim Blacksmith, no need to apologize. I just wanted to clarify for you. But yeah, that's a good question. I like that. From Aiden Snow. Also, there's a bird like right outside my window. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. There's a cat right outside my door that's screaming. I don't know if you can hear her.
Wait, maybe your cat can hear my bird.
That's probably what it is. Teasel, do you want to come in? What do you? Come on.
From Aiden Snow, question: what is your favorite RWBY meme from the community? Smiley face.
Oh man.
Mine, I think it's because it's the most unhinged. I have two. The most unhinged one is the Yang and Blake taking the selfie.
Oh my god, it's so good.
And because there's some like really good natural ones to do, and then there's some that like I will not repeat, but that are just like very my humor of just like really weird and out there. Miles, we're getting a quest for the cat. If you could form that in a question, please, then we can address it.
She left. She didn't want to be a part of the
we will not be able to answer
the function.
Question.
Yeah, no, I think I'm trying to think of all the RWBY memes.
There's the other really good one, if this helps jog memory, is the great one.
The gray one.
The Pyrrha figure, the Pyrrha plushie.
Oh, the great one. Yes, the terrible piece of RWBY merchandise.
Yeah.
Wait, do people know about the RWBY body pillow that was cursed?
I don't know. Hey, do y'all know that somebody at some point tried to make a RWBY body pillow and it was really weird?
It was really bad for two reasons. One, I don't know I want us to sell a RWBY body pillow. This is me at that time. I don't know. I want us to sell a RWBY
Yeah,
body pillow.
I don't particularly. Yeah.
There's. It can be seen as an innocent
I,
thing.
I
It could
also want to be
not
very clear. Specifically, RWBY the character body pillows. Right.
Yes.
We have because we have sold
Yeah.
body pillows.
Yeah, we have sold body pillows.
But RWBY the character, I think there's
RWBY the character with body pillows.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But it was also that like this person who will not be named.
No.
They didn't do the thing where it's like a body.
Mal, can you please describe?
Body.
Can you please describe what everybody in the world knows as a body pillow? Go ahead.
This is a body pillow. Is like it's a very long, regular, rectangular shaped pillow.
Right.
Maybe it's a little thinner, but it's very long.
Thinner, longer than
pillowcase.
that.
Yeah. You put a pillowcase over it that has an image of your favorite character, so then you can go to sleep snuggling your favorite character.
And then you flip it
or
over,
whatever.
and they're in a.
Sometimes is that always
look. Sometimes let's just say there's a part A, part B.
There's a part A, there's a part B.
You know.
So that's not what this person prototyped and brought into the animation studio on that day. What they brought in was like, imagine, God, I have to do prop comedy now. All right. So imagine, here's me, right?
Yeah.
I'm RWBY Rose. I'm like, hi, I'm RWBY Rose. Now, cut me out.
Yep.
Cut this silhouette
like a gingerbread man.
Like a gingerbread man, and stuff me full of pillow stuffing, and then go, ta-da, I did it. It's a RWBY body pillow, guys. What do you think?
I'm so happy Squirrel made it to the frame like that.
Insane.
So we were like immediately like, no, for multiple reasons. I don't think we had to fight that one very hard.
No, we didn't.
However, do you remember what we did with that? It was actually very helpful after that.
Oh my God, yes. Tell the story.
We kept it in the mocap stage. And anytime somebody needed to do like a little fall, nothing crazy. We had actual like crash mats, but if you just needed to like drop to your knee, or even if you're just like you were like kneeling for a while in the mocap stage, you would just be kneeling on this sample RWBY body pillow.
Bless her.
So in some ways, I'm really glad that she was in our lives.
Just like much like the Great One. I'm so glad.
Much like the Great One.
There was a question a little bit ago that was really funny, which was, okay, so RWBY's pedal burst semblance. If someone were to take 2 jars in the middle of her pedal burst and go, and then close both jars of pedals, what would happen? And I'm going to give you an opportunity to answer that, but I do know the right answer.
My right answer is my also correct answer is depending on which part was grabbed. She might like, oh, I don't know math now. That was the math part of me.
It's really good.
Oh, there's my hand. Where's my hand, guys? What's your correct answer?
Well, that's actually the origins of RWBY TV.
There you go.
That's how she came to be.
Yeah.
And then she willed the rest. The rest of it is just her machinations in her mind. Is like, well, I'm small RWBY now. I'm RWBY Chibi now. I'm gonna come up with some little adventures for me and my friends to go on while I'm trapped forever in this little jar.
Also, going back to the pill, Mel just posted, or if you're Tyrion and need something to attack. So yeah, if you needed a punch, we were like that RWBY went through a lot.
In a way, it's kind of like how you see pictures from the sets of Sonic the Hedgehog movies now, where they have like the little Shadow the Hedgehog or the little Knuckles. And it's like, yeah, we just had RWBY the not body pillow on there.
I just got kind of actually sad for a second. I don't know where that body pillow is.
Oh man!
I was not gonna bring it home into my domicile.
No, and that was right of you. That was right of you.
That might be in a dumpster.
Oh man.
I've seen this question a lot. I think it might have been from multiple people, so I apologize. And I've been asked it. I did a RWBY Aerofell like way forward Q&A. Miles, is Chibi Fat Nora your favorite character? And obviously, when you say yes, expand on to why.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
It's just good fun.
Gosh,
it's just good cartoon American fun, you know.
It's just good fun.
You eat a lot of food. You bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah, you know.
RWBY Chibi was so much fun, man. just like the Genie Detectives bit was always really fun. Just you and Michael having a lot of fun with those characters.
I think somebody could
Um,
probably go do the math on this. I think Junior Detective Neptune has had more screen time than Neptune.
Probably, yeah.
And
Probably.
honestly, I'm so okay with that. I'm so
Ooh.
okay with that.
On the subject of Ruby Chibi, Grim
Yes.
Blacksmith asks, "Hi, genuine question. Which character would you love to see in Ruby Chibi?"
Ooh.
Yeah, man. Because
Probably
it's like, okay,
Fat Nora. No.
but she's already there.
Yeah, I just want to see more of her.
The question that so this is actually this is a very fun question, but to give it more of an interesting like behind the scenes answer, when we were working on Ruby Chibi and like every season we wanted to add like a few more characters to the cast, where we always started from was, okay, well, what sort of character archetypes do we already have covered?
Sure.
What types of jokes can we already make with the characters that we have, and what characters would bring us like different angles? So again, like Neo is like her and Roman Torture were like
Right.
Wile E. Coyote. Like that was their whole thing. Like she's talking with the signs. It's a lot of visual gags. And so like that was something that was really unique to Neo's character that only she could bring to Ruby Chibi.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Klein, I think, made it in there
Yep.
Towards the end, right? And it was like, oh yeah, we can have him swapping between his different personalities. That's something really interesting. We essentially have one character that can become 7 different characters if we need him to be.
And
So
there were
that
some
Klein gave us a lot of
characters
info about.
like Marapi just threw out Chibi Salem that we didn't want to do because we didn't want to take our big bad scary villain and have them like slip on a banana peel and bonk their head and like kind of like undercut that a little bit. So there is this kind of like give and take, and like we do kind of have to think about them in like the show as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. So like,
I'm trying to think of like, I mean, okay, obviously Forrest, right?
Obviously Forrest.
We need
Forrest,
the Shaggy of RWBY. I think this is hard because I feel like we got a lot of really good characters in there.
We did get a lot of really good characters.
We did not get Oscar.
She was so much fun. We did not get Oscar.
Oscar, I think,
Oscar
could be
good. I think Oscar, if we were to make Oscar in RWBY Chibi, if we were making RWBY Chibi now, we added Oscar to the cast, and not just because of his. Okay, here's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Do you know that like that meme of like the, or it's just kind of like an internet joke now of like the guy doing the plucky shonen anime protagonist voice? I think having someone like that, wow, I can't believe that I finally got accepted to Beacon.
That's
oh gosh. I like just like fanboying out over everybody around him. Like, I'm gonna do my best, and he does just always get hurt because bless you, Oscar Pine, you do just always get hurt.
If you ever want to have some fun, just when you're around your friends or your significant other or whatever, just start thinking out loud in that voice and see how long that relationship that you have with that person remains, because it's very good. Someone saying such a season 1 Deku. Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah, season 1 Deku for sure.
Oh, Tom, what's up? Tom Fox. The apple cheek sweetheart that just gets completely shit on. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea that I feel like Chibi Oscar John would see him and be like, finally, someone I can bully.
And somehow Oscar would like, in trying to be kind,
yes,
would like fully embarrass John in front of everybody, and he'd be like, I guess there's a new king in town.
Yeah. And at the very end, like everybody leaves and Oscar just looks at him and goes and does like this thing to John. He goes,
I got here's a cool question from Astro Ivada. You know your name. Have there been people trying to steal stuff from Beacon since the fall with like a 50-50 chance they actually make it out alive or something? I love that.
Yeah,
I 100% think so. I think I think those people are crazy. Like,
talk like character.
what would they?
or like a
What would they want to get from Beacon?
pencils.
Textbooks.
Number
Yeah, I
two
guess
pencils.
that's the main question. Is like, are there things of value? Maybe
I mean, theoretically,
you know
there would
what?
be
I could
like
see-
training weapons. You know.
I was gonna say, I think there could be a good amount of weapons. I could also see there being a part of Beacon that has like a somewhat like museum sort of
Mhm.
like archive. Like, hey, here's this ancient weapon from this really famous battle against this infamous Grim, or
Sure.
like this weapon from the Great War, or something like that. Like, I could see there being like artifacts, historical artifacts. So some sort of remnant version of Indiana Jones might try and go in
Right.
there. Oh man, new character.
Ozpin. I mean, I know you and I have talked about this. We haven't officially made it canon, but Ozpin does have the Scrooge McDuck money pit, too, from all the tuition. You know.
All
so
the
there's that.
tuition.
I mean, there would probably be a lot of dust there.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
I could see that.
That didn't get used up,
Armory,
like in the
swords.
fight.
Excuse me. Every now and then I just see Fat Chibi Nora again in chat.
If you see FCN, that's also invoking the same concept there.
FCN.
Yeah, FCN. Yeah.
What do you say? Like, we have like 10-ish more minutes. How many more questions do you think we want to try and knock out here?
We can do a couple more. Yeah, if you got a question, please throw it out. We obviously can't answer every single question. I meant this at the beginning, but y'all have actually been very chill. But if your question is, will this happen? The answer is watch. But y'all have actually been very good about that. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, Magister, I'm remembering why I was so bad when I streamed on Twitch. I'm so bad at like reading people's names. Magister Siren?
See, here's what you gotta do: is you have to say it like you know it as well as your own name.
That's so true.
And you just
Miles Luna asks, what was the most difficult scene to write?
Wait, you asked?
I was joking. I was saying as if I knew it as my own name. No, Magister Syrian asked, what was the hardest? I did a bad joke. What was the hardest scene to write? Oh.
I think for me as a whole, one of the harder things that I did more like solo was the Cinder backstory episode. Just because it was a lot to do in a relatively short amount of time, and you know, had to be really conscious of assets, and that's one that like I'm really happy with how it turned out, but I definitely would have loved to do another pass at it.
Does the entirety of the Atlas arc count?
Yeah, I mean that
was so hard.
That was
so
very
many
difficult.
Characters and so many things, and then like we had some plans, and then for production reasons beyond anyone's control, those plans had to change. So then there were like huge rewrites that had to be done. Oh man, it was like during the Monstro invasion, there was like a whole subplot that had to just get scrapped. There was like a giant Grim tentacle that like burst out of Mantle that like grabbed on to Atlas and was like trying to pull it down.
Well, we had like the wave of Grim like shoot up still.
Yeah.
But there was like a whole like combat scene around that.
It was like essentially there was like a sub boss of like there's the people going to take on what's going on with Monstra. And then there was also like the Mantle side of the fight.
Yes.
And I think that it was like a lot to do with the Happy Huntresses.
And the Aesops, I think?
I want to say there was like a thing where it's like the Happy Huntresses and the Aesops were going to work together to do this thing. This is like a lifetime ago.
It's so hard to remember.
I remember there was going to be this whole plan where, because I think the line was still in one of the early chapters of like, wasn't there like, there was like a dust refinery or something down in Mantle. And there was going to be this thing of like, all this dust that they've been mining, they were going to have to use it and do something with the dust to the Grim Arm. It was like freeze it and shatter it or burn. I don't know.
I think that was the plan.
They're
gonna. And it again, very cool. But didn't have time for it, and we realized it wasn't necessary. It would have been nice, but we had to make some cuts like that. I saw a question a second ago. Where did it I've lost it. Also, if you have any non-RWBY questions, we'll answer anything. We don't care.
Hey, what was your favorite scene to write, or favorite episode to write, or whatever?
Man, I don't even know. It's kind of sad. I feel like I should go back through and re-look at stuff. I mean, I like. I was really happy with how the Ironwood Watts fight turned out.
Oh, that was sick. That was
more
really
like
fun.
the choreography side than like the actual like writing side. I don't know, but what about you?
Oh man, I loved the apathy arc. That was so much fun.
Oh yeah,
that was so much fun. The apathy stuff was like, I've always really liked doing kind of like spooky horror stuff. I've never gotten to write a full on horror thing before. That's like the closest I've ever gotten to do that, and that was just a blast. Volume 6 was so much fun. It was just something like the team was back together. It was a very pared down cast, and like that's really, I really feel like that was in those days, like that was really our sweet spot of like I feel like we were really good at that, and getting to return to that slightly smaller scale story and like adventure was just like so fun. And oh my god, Volume 9 was so much fun.
I think it's probably like just because I can remember it so much more clearly because it was more recently, but I was really from a writing standpoint, I was really happy with how the first episode of Volume 9 turned out, especially I just the actual like writing, like the script of basically RWBY up until she met Weiss. I was just really happy with how that turned out because it was way more description than we normally have because there was no dialogue going on at all. So I just liked doing that. I remember.
My favorite, one of my favorite "I'm proud of myself" stickers goes to the joke that I wrote for the Curious Cat, which was "I sense a butt approaching." I was very pleased with that. That's one where
I remember. Yeah, you wrote that. I was like, "There's no way that one." I know it's like it's a joke, but there's no way that's getting cut for time. That's gonna make it in. This is from
what changes
Adam.
Would you make? Oh, man.
Yeah, Adam plays a game 1, 2, 3. What changes would you make in past volumes if you could? Man, 1 is difficult.
So many changes.
I think this is because it's so near. It's a little bit easier for me to think about. It's less about outcomes and more of just like how we went around describing stuff of like RWBY drinking the tea. Again, I don't think no outcomes would have changed, but I think we could have framed some things a little bit better to get our point across.
And I think, gosh, there's a lot, but like the one that keeps coming to mind is like the SDC brand on Adam's face.
Sure.
Like there were some times where we were just like, okay, he's got this scar that he got from being abused through like a hate crime, and like if it was just like a scar, then like there's no like, okay, what's been underneath Adam's mask all the time? It was just a scar. You don't get much more than a scar. So it was like, okay, what's a scar that would communicate a lot more about like where he got this scar from and maybe why? And so it was like, oh, like SDC, people know that the SDC is really crappy, people in Atlas are racist, and like blah blah blah. And so it was like, that seems like it could like kind of get the point across. And then understandably what it went to was like, Adam has this whole history with like specifically the Schnee Dust Company and maybe the Schnee family, and like it was just one of those instances where it was like, maybe this could be like an economic way to do something, and it was like, nope, that wasn't quite the move. And a lot of the stuff that I wish it would change would kind of be just like better world building in places, less exposition in some areas, more exposition in other areas.
Having a chance to reflect a little bit more before production, I think would have been helpful. But we also just had to keep moving, you know.
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah. I think probably have time for one more. This won't be it, but just from Pretzel Forte, Miles will you be getting a Fat Chibi Nora tattoo?
I have to show you what's on my back.
Hayden, Establishment 99 again. Favorite RWBY lore fairy tale?
Like a fairy tale from the world of RWBY.
Let me. I want to make sure I get the title of it right. Where is it? The Infinite Man.
Oh, yeah.
That Eugene wrote for the Fairy Tales book. I really enjoyed.
The Grim Child was a fun one as well.
Grim Child was a very good one.
I love the spooky stuff, man. I love the spooky stuff.
Spooky stuff.
Oh, God of Animals is also sick.
Yes.
We're about at time.
This has been
what
very
are
fun.
You know what? Any final thoughts or things you want to talk about?
I just appreciate everybody. I think it's really cool that after all this time we can still get there and talk RWBY stuff, and people are excited to come hang out. This is easy for us.
Yeah.
It's just us talking.
Yeah.
I mean, and just being like really sincere and open about my feelings. If you want to go to streamly.com/RWBY, and purchase anything, that'd be great. I'm not kidding, but yeah. If you'd be so inclined, that would be awesome. But we're just happy to be here and talk.
Yeah, man.
What about you?
Yeah, it still blows my mind. It is forever blown my mind that anybody cared about RWBY ever, because to me, RWBY will always be that thing where we were in our early 20s and going, this would be fun to do.
Yep.
I guess let's do it. And then people went, hey, we like this. And we went, oh,
really?
What? And the fact that so many years later, there's still people out there that talk about it on forums and do fan art and do their own like cosplay and all that stuff. It's still just super surreal. And it's something that I will always be proud to have been a part of and grateful to have been a part of. And it's great. It's been super great. So yeah, thanks to everybody who came to show up. Like Kerry said, the whole reason this got put on is because of the folks at Streamily. Started pulling folks from RWBY together and saying like, hey, this could be a cool thing. We think people might like it. So shout out to Streamily. Again, you can go to the RWBY store, streamily.com/RWBY if you'd like. And then, I guess, so if you do decide to you want to grab a print or something, some of those things, like we mentioned at the top of this, we can do signings on camera and do video messages and stuff like that. So keep a lookout for, in the pretty near future, we'll probably be doing individual streams to do those signings and stuff like that. I'm not on social media as much as I used to, but I tend to post about that stuff on my Instagram. And I don't really go to Twitter anymore, aside to occasionally retweet a backwards compatible video. Oh, hey, yeah, if there's anybody who watched RWBY who remembers backwards compatible for Rooster Teeth, it was a show that me and my friend Kyle did. It was just us playing video games for half an hour. We do that now on YouTube. You can go and check us out. Kyle got the rights for that show back for 2
good
raspberries.
and professional gamers.
Yeah, we're very good and professional gamers. Yeah, we need to record some new episodes soon. Yeah, we've been uploading all of the old archive episodes from Rooster Teeth onto that channel, and then every Friday we do a new episode. And that's been really fun. That's been nice. But yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky and kind of Instagram. That's pretty much all
I tend to be more on Blue Sky than anything else. Sometimes, every once in a while, I'll log into the x.com, the everything app, but not too often, really. I try and avoid it.
Not too often. I'm gonna say something. That Elon Musk guy, I don't know. I don't think he's that great.
Just not.
That's just my 2 cents, though. That's just my 2 cents.
Thank you, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. We should do it again sometime. I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
This is the only time Miles will talk to me, is if we're doing a live stream. So
I go back into my coffin once this is
yeah,
over.
yeah, right.
I rest. I rest once.
It's more of a
again.
limitation than anything else. So thank you all. This has been great, and we will see you another time.
Bye, everybody.
Oh God, where's OBS? Oh no, we have a problem. Okay, I found it. Okay, bye.
My coffin.